Hey now, I'm the Rob from 1061 KISS FM. Welcome to the Enhancement Talent. Of course, I'm here alongside my broadcast partner.
Hey, it's Eric Cornish from 99.5 WKDQ, and yeah, we've got a fun topic today. I'm very excited about this.
Sometimes when we've got the rest of the wrestling news covered, we like to just kind of throw out topics. And today's topic is going to be interesting WWE merchandise. And I've got a list here of a few things that will make good talking points. Do you have any good merchandise that you think is worth talking about?
I will first start off with this. I mean, I have a lot of WWE merchandise, a lot of mine still in the attic, and I should bring it in for some of these shows. I think it would be fun.
Okay.
But the one thing that I did back in 1990 and maybe 91 or 92 and 93, something like that, I joined the WWF fan club.
Oh, no kidding!
You could always go into the magazines and you would see the ads where join the fan club.
Yes, I'm familiar
and
with
here's
that.
all the stuff that you would get. And to me, the one thing, and this was before, they started mass producing these CDs, theme songs, they would give you a cassette tape that had like 5 or 6 theme songs on it.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing that I wanted because, you couldn't go onto YouTube and use the cool themes like we did on here.
This is before Full Metal, the album,
That's
Volume
right.
1.
That's before that. That's, it's the wrestling album wasn't widely available at that time.
Yeah.
It had pretty much gone out of print. So they would give you, the cassette tape and theme songs.
Can you recall any songs on there?
I can. On the first one that I got, Bret the Hitman Hart was on there.
Good choice. Heart Attack.
The Heart Attack, the original one before all the guitar riffs in it. You had the Nasty Boys, which you heard at the beginning of this this show. You had the Texas Tornado.
No kidding.
Yes, the Texas Tornado. You had, let's see, what else was on there? Oh, the original, no, that might have been the second one. Sexy Boy by Shawn Michaels with the Sherry version.
With Sherry.
And then, so on another one, there was Doink the Clown, I think.
These are great themes.
And you even had a special one that wasn't a theme song, but it was the Lex Luger, Lex Express, I'll Be Your Hero.
I Will Be Your Hero.
Was on there.
I remember that.
And we might have to use that for a future episode as well. So those were cool
Did that have fold out liner notes?
Absolutely not. No. It was just a cassette tape. It didn't even have a case to it. It would just
they just put the tape in there?
They would just put the tape in there, and it might have been in a little plastic vinyl, not like the hard plastic, but even like a soft vinyl case.
Okay.
And so then I'm trying to think what else came in there. There were autographed pictures that the autograph was printed on of different stars like Hogan. I had one that was Hogan, Suburban Commando Hogan, from the movie, and it was signed, printed on there. British Bulldog, I think, the Warlord. So,
man, how could you not be a fan?
And like a bandana, like a WWF bandana, I believe, came in one of them. But anyway, and you also could get one free ticket to a WWF event if it came to your city.
Look at this. That's remarkable.
So anyway, that was that's a whole conglomeration of stuff that I had through the fan club. But I wish it was still around. That would be awesome.
Okay, do you want to hear some of mine?
Yeah, let's hear it. I
right.
know you got some crazy
I've
stuff.
got a few things here. I've talked about this before. One of my rare items, I have one of those pay-per-view chairs.
Cool.
That I was very proud of until it broke. A 500-pound man sat on the chair back in Montana. It no longer works, but it's from Unforgiven of 2001. It was the first pay-per-view after September 11th, 2001. And it had those 3 Austin faces on it. I sat on the chair.
Right.
But it's got the date, and it was in the Pittsburgh Mellon Arena. And so that was a prized item of mine. I have a piece of the WrestleMania 12 ring canvas.
Oh, nice. I remember when you were selling that.
They sold that. I somehow convinced my mom to buy this for me. I was 12 at the time. I didn't have any of my own money. And I somehow convinced, what they did was they cut the ring into 300 pieces.
Wow.
And you got a picture of Shawn Michaels, personally signed, not a stamp. And it was matted on this, a picture of Shawn, and then a little plaque, and then a piece of the WrestleMania 12 ring.
That's pretty cool.
So I've got a piece of the WrestleMania 12 ring. That's at home in Pennsylvania. And this went to a short little Shawn Michaels section for me because I had kind of an unhealthy obsession with him when I was growing up. I had those heart-shaped rose glasses, if you remember those.
Nice.
Including the black and red Shawn Michaels shirt. And one poster that is always interesting, I've told this story on the air a few times. The reason this Shawn Michaels poster is special in my childhood is because I was not allowed to hang this poster on my wall. I put it up on my wall. My mom made me take it down because it was, quote, too gay. My mom made me take down a Shawn Michaels poster, and I have to be honest with you, in retrospect, my mom was absolutely right.
Oh, wow.
I know it came from it was like an official poster, like it came from one of his profile magazines.
Nice.
And Mom wouldn't let Young the Rob hang that. And to Mom, I say thank you. That's probably...
That's funny. And it's interesting that you, who is the huge Bret Hart fan, and me, who is the huge Shawn Michaels fan, you had all of that Shawn Michaels stuff, because I had an official pair of the Bret Hart pink sunglasses.
We ought to trade.
That I got at WrestleMania 8.
How did you buy them?
My dad took me to the merchandise
That's
stand
cool.
and said, you want to pick out a couple things? I picked out the official T-shirt at WrestleMania that had the double main event on it and the Hoosier Dome on the back. But then I also picked out the Bret Hart sunglasses. So,
That is awesome, and I have a friend who has the same shirt.
very
All
cool.
right, a few more. I remember at WrestleMania 18, I went to in Toronto. They had the fan access, which was one of the most fun things I've ever been a part of. It was more fun than WrestleMania, maybe. There was a ring set up, and there was always something going on in the ring, and we just camped out by the ring. We didn't go to the autograph lines. We just loved what was going on in the ring. And I was very excited for this. For some reason, this was when Tough Enough 2, it was like a few weeks before the finale of Tough Enough 2.
Right.
Bob Holly was wearing a shirt, a Tough Enough 2 t-shirt. He threw it off right at me. I caught a Bob Holly Tough Enough 2 t-shirt, and then he came around and signed it after that, so I had that. I am one of the few people who actually paid money for the John Cena trademark album.
Oh, wow.
With his rap album. And the first, I believe it was 1,000 or 10,000 people who ordered it from WWE.com got a personally signed copy. So I do have a personally signed John Cena copy of his first album.
I won't tell anybody.
And here is one last story about a piece of WWE wrestling merchandise that I do not own. And I've never told this story before. I even kind of forgot about it, but I remember the story. This is from back when I was 14 years old. And we almost, I guess you could say, acquired the actual heavyweight title that Steve Austin won at WrestleMania 15 from The Rock.
Okay, I've got to hear this.
Okay, so let me tell you this story. I've never shared this before, but here's what the deal was. In July of 1999, there was a house show coming to Philadelphia. And before the house show, Steve Austin was going to do batting practice with the Philadelphia Phillies as, PR work or whatever. So we find out about this, and we head down to Philadelphia a little bit early because the show was going to be that night. And it was like probably my second or third house show at the time. We were super excited about it. And we wanted to get in to see, the batting practice or whatever, but we weren't allowed in for that. That was like a closed thing. It wasn't open to the public. And we see Austin, he gets out of his limo, and the driver walks him into the batting camp. And there's some photographers and stuff there. And it wasn't crazy packed, but there were a few fans there. And the key part of the story is it was the driver who walked him into the building. So we went to his limousine, and we could see in his... We went to his limousine. The windows are obviously tinted. One of my friends opened the back door to the limousine, and the lights in the limousine go on. No alarm goes off. It was just left unlocked. Austin's got his bag in there, and sitting on top of the bag is the actual World Heavyweight title. And for a moment, we considered taking the belt. It was right there.
Wow.
The driver wasn't there. There was nothing. Just Austin's bag with the belt on top of it. And like I said, we thought about taking it, but we knew it was going to be trouble in the long run, and we did not take it. But that is my final merchandise story.
That is great. And
So I haven't even thought about that story for a long time.
And I'll finish it off with one quick piece of merchandise that I too did not have, and that was the LJN WWF cage to go around the WWF ring. And the reason
The toy ring?
yes, the blue cage to around the toy ring, because it was on the back of everything you got to show that they made it. It just never made it into stores, and no matter how many times I asked Santa, no matter how many times I asked, I never got it.
I'm really sorry.
So eventually, my dad made me a cage out of like the stuff you see on these lights, these
No
fluorescent lights. He made me my own like cage, and so I thank you for that, Dad. But
That is a cool story.
But anyway, so there you go. Lots of merchandise. We'd love to hear what you had that was interesting or fun of WWF, WCW merchandise. Even ECW had some for a while.
If you have any cool merchandise stories, email them to the addresses you see on the screen. Thank you for tuning in. We will be back later on this week with another edition of the Enhancement Talent. Enjoy Raw. In the meantime, I'm the Rob.
And I'm Eric Cornish. Let's get nasty.